Welcome back to another little what I eat in a week, and this is part 2 of my grandparents' house. So I had some more footage, and you guys said that you love to see it. So here we are, doing the thing. So for breakfast, I had coconut yogurt, just plain with some granola and bananas. The banana actually, the tofu was so refreshing on the granola. It was really good. I don't usually do that. And then for lunch, I decided to have spinach and egg white wrap type of thing. You know those Starbucks ones? The spinach and egg wraps? I used to really, really vibe with those. Oh, and the feta. Spinach, feta, egg. Mm-mm-mm. So, I made one of my little tofu eggs and divided it up with everybody, put some tomatoes on a little wrap. Oh, delicious. Absolutely fantastic. And then I'm obsessed with my little pumpkin spice lattes, as we all know. So I made a hot one of those, and then I made a banana bread with some roasted almonds on top. That was so good. And then shepherd's pie for dinner. Oh, potatoes on anything, 10 out of 10. Literally 10 out of 10. It's nice and crispy on top. It was so delicious. I made a bunch of extra ones to freeze for them, to reheat when we're gone, and we wanted to dig right into them. It was so good. We were just ready to devour it all, honestly. But we decided to hold ourselves back, and we had some banana bread, and I put a little bit of butter on mine because there's nothing better than like fresh banana bread with butter. Mm-mm-mm. Then for breakfast, I had another little yogurt bowl because I was kind of like vibing it. But after day 2, I was like, that's enough. I can only do things so many times before I'm like, no, that's enough. Okay, and then get this, I made peanut butter and banana toast on banana bread. I know that's like a glitch in the matrix type thing, like kind of like a sketchy thing for me to do, but it was absolutely delicious. Highly recommend. Great combo. Then we got some bagels from Mount Royal Bagels, which remind me of my childhood. They're so good. We'd get these bagels all the time. I'd usually eat them with hummus, but they were out. So I ate it with some vegan cream cheese I had, and they're like hot and fresh. But I have to say, they're good, but I don't know if they're as good as my homemade bagels. Not to brag, but I do kind of vibe mine more. But they're still really good, really fresh. And then I made a big cabbage immune boosting soup for dinner that has got like sweet potatoes, cabbage, tomatoes, everything. Look, it was so steamy. I was like getting a little facial. Everything good that you need this season. You know what I mean? You're really supposed to be eating as seasonally as you can, right? Getting all those root vegetables, getting our immune system all strong for the winter month. And I made a little bit of garlic bread to go with it. 10 out of 10, warmed the soul. Then we had a date bite and some banana bread for dessert, again with butter because we're civilized people here. And then you're wondering, like, Megan, why are you opening chickpeas this early in the morning? Well, I needed my fix of hummus. I always find it so funny when the chickpeas dance in the blender like that. It looks like they're like trying to escape death. But I needed some hummus in my life with a bagel because I just really missed it. So I whipped up a little bit of hummus, put a little bit of paprika. Oh, and that's Ruby. That's my grandparents' dog. How cute is she? She's a little schnauzer rescue, and I love her with all my life. She's adorable. She acts like a little human. It's really funny. So I had an everything bagel, and again, it's not as good as my bagels. I don't know. I have to be honest, I loved it, but there's something about my bagels. I mean, when things are homemade, it's just hard to beat. And then we had a lentil soup for lunch with a grilled cheese. And for dinner, we had some fajitas. So did it with avo and what else? What did I just see there? A bunch of stuff. And then for dessert, I was going to use the chickpea juice that I had from earlier to make a little, oh my gosh, what's it called? A mousse. Sorry, a mousse. Yeah, like the animal, but a delicious dessert. And I whipped it up with my grandma's like old vintage little whippy thing. Look how cute it is. It was so fun. And I have to just say that whipping meringue is quite literally so relaxing. I mean, who needs therapy when you have meringue? I don't know. It's same with bread. Bread is so therapeutic to me, like making bread and then not cleaning up after making bread. That's not therapeutic. That's very, and look at this shot. What am I doing here? I don't know what's going on. But I added the refried beans and avocado, coconut yogurt and everything to the tortillas. scrumdiddlyumptious. I didn't have any hot sauce, so that made me a little bit sad, and I got avocado on myself. It was kind of a messy meal, but a good meal. And look at the mousse. Look at it. Look how delicious that looks. I got the kind of ugly one because I wanted to get everyone else the pretty ones, but it was still so good. And then we got 2 pieces of toast, some grapes, a little pumpkin spice latte for first breakfast because I got up really early that day. And then later I was like, oh dang, I'm kind of hungry again. So I had second breakfast, or brunch, I guess we'll call it. And I made that Turkish breakfast. I think that's what it is. That's, you got like, it's like a savory, like eggs on toast with like the savory yogurt thing. Oh, it's so good. It's like a little spicy and like, oh, it's delicious. Then for lunch, it was cold and it was rainy, and I'm like, we need a soup. We just got to get a soup going on in here. So I made a little chickenless noodle soup with tofu and chickpeas. And then I also decided we had all this fresh kale, and look at it. It's so green and beautiful. Nature is incredible. The colors of vegetables just blow my mind sometimes with how pretty they are. But I made kale chips with like cheesy kale chips with like nutritional yeast and stuff. And I swear to goodness that I could literally down like 3 bunches of kale because it's so easy to eat like a whole thing yourself, like a whole bunch of kale, which is huge, just by eating kale chips because they melt in your mouth. I am a strong believer of kale chips. And then for dinner, I made a curry. It wasn't an authentic curry, but it was like a curry type situation with some coconut milk, chickpeas, sweet potato, you know, more of them root veggies, a little bit of rice on the side. Oh, it was so warm and so comforting. And it was amazing. And then we had one of these soy chocolate puddings. And there's me chasing Ruby, trying to get her to be on camera, but she was not having it. Then I decided to make some pancakes, some pumpkin pancakes for breakfast. Look how cute they are. I tried to make like basically kind of a single serving, so it only made 3 pancakes. Or no, was it 4? 3 or 4 pancakes. Because everyone I think had already eaten because I was up late. I think that was it. But I made an apple butter maple syrup to go on top. I know. And I topped it with walnuts for a little bit of crunch. And I really had an emotional experience with this breakfast. All the pancakes were still hot, and I just devoured them instantly. And then later on for dinner, we had a little pizza situation. I made some homemade crust that turned out so good. And we had pepperoni and mushroom and cheese. And I was really missing like some pineapple or olives. I know, controversial pineapple on pizza, but I'm here for it. I love like a nice like refreshing punch of a pineapple or like the olive. It's just so good. Then I made a overnight loaf. Look at that bad boy. She cute. And I ended up making some French toast with that because when you have a fresh loaf, French toast is a must. And did you see how cute that little contraption was? It was my grandma's, and I tried to use it to blend up the flaxseed. It did not work, so I had to use the little blender instead. But I just love how cute the little machine was. It was adorable. But yeah, I used flaxseed to make the French toast, and I made stuffed French toast too. So I put some strawberry yogurt on the inside and on top, and a couple of strawberries on top of there too. Looking pretty good. Later I had some raisin bran, which is something I literally never eat, but it kind of hit the spot. I had got so many raisins though because it was the end of the bag, so I was a little awkward. And then I made a tortilla pie for dinner with beans, a classic Quebecois dish. And I also made another apple pie, or crumble, I guess. And of course, you gotta hit it up with the ketchup. Oh, there's no other way to eat it. It was absolutely delicious. Okay, and then we're just gonna pretend that Sunday doesn't exist. All right, you and me, we just didn't get there, and I didn't realize that before I edited this video. So thank you so much for watching. I hope everybody's well, and we'll see you in the next one.